The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
It's a safari for your ears. It's The Local Show with Tom and Steve.
It's wild here this weekend, Tom.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. As we approach better weather, I had to call up the Bartlett Tree Service and make sure they were coming back to
not
save
kill
my
that
crabapple tree.
The crabapple. I was going to say, what's that tree that's got eczema?
It has a fungus, and I guess that it happens to all these crabapple trees, and it's airborne. So I will be inoculated with my tree, but it can go spread to the other trees, which begs the question, do I really want to keep paying for a service to make sure that my tree doesn't get the fungus, or just take that tree down and put something different?
I like that tree. Right where you put that.
I do like it.
It looks pretty. It's right by the sidewalk going in there. I like that tree.
I'd like to have a tree that doesn't cost me money every year.
Life has maintenance, Tom.
It does.
It's all part of it.
Absolutely. Well, it's our pleasure to bring back a favorite of the show. It's Jeff Taylor. He's the owner of the Wild Animal Park over there in Chittenango. It's like Disney World right here in town, isn't it?
Yeah, we try.
Yeah.
I think Disney's kind of annoying. I like his place way better than Disney.
Yeah, arguably that could be, but it's like, it's a zoo that is, a real exotic zoo, if you will, right? You've got everything over there that some of the traditional zoos have, and then some. It's like really African.
Yeah, we just, try to, other zoos around are nice, but we just try to be different. Bring in different animals they don't have that we can get, and, give a different experience. We're more of an up-close and personal experience.
Right. How much land do you have up there? You got quite a bit.
A lot.
Total, I probably have around over 300 acres on the different properties, but the zoo itself is like 14 acres, then the safari is about 40, and then the rest of the land we're using for the Haven project, and then I grew up on a farm, so I like farming. We do all our own farming, so we bale our own hay, and it's kind of self-sustaining.
So let's explain to people what they experience at the Wild. So first of all, I believe, is that Route 13 that runs past you? Lakeport Road, is that what they call it?
Yep.
Okay, so you're on Lakeport Road, and you can get there if you come up Route 5, go through, past Chittenango Way and everything, and then you make a left onto that road he's talking about, Lakeport Road.
Yeah, or Route 31 on the other.
I was going to say, come down from 31
the other way.
Yeah, so it's really accessible, pretty easily to access.
Yeah. So, and then when you're there, you're going to get an experience that's not just let's bring the family inside and walk around a zoo. You're going to get you can have a safari. You can actually get into one of those vehicles and it'll drive around the property, right? And what will people see?
On the safari, which is a separate facility. So it's not your typical zoo experience. So, the safari, you can take your own vehicle through, or you can ride.
You can? Okay.
Yeah, you can ride the Beast, our monster truck that holds like 30 people. That's a guided tour.
What do people like better? Is it just a mix?
Ride the Beast ride. The Beast is, it's guided, so they can tell you about the zebra, the wildebeest, the rhinos, the different animals, and they can answer questions. If you drive your car through, you still get to see all the animals, you just don't get the information.
Right. And we should work on that, because we could make a whole guided tour for you with the wireless, the radio thing going on.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to narrate that for you.
No, you'd be good at it.
I could do like a James Earl Jones thing.
So which animals are in which properties?
Yep. So it's very diverse. The challenge is I want to try to give animals the biggest enclosures possible, just for their lives. We want the animals' lives to be the best lives in captivity they can have. And the zoo, it's a smaller property, so like your bigger hoof stock we couldn't have in the zoo because they wouldn't have enough room.
I see.
That's where the safari comes in.
Bigger hoof stock
like zebras, like bison, elk, camels. So the safari is basically big pastures that they have access to acres and acres, where the zoo is, more of your primates. We have the big cats over there. We have alligators. We have pygmy hippos. Stuff where they still have big enclosures, but doesn't take up the massive space that you'd want for some of these other animals.
Animals that are more akin to the way you look, Steve.
I was going to say, see, Iowa Tom, that wasn't very nice. So the pygmy hippo,
Yeah.
is he a herbivore?
Yeah.
So that's proof to not be vegetarian, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're
still
all
get big.
vegetation, but they'll kill you, but they won't. They just don't. They'll kill
They
you.
just
and
maul you?
They'll just leave.
Wait,
you
here's a
after that.
quote. Jeff Taylor, they'll kill you, but they won't eat you.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So inside the zoo, how do you have it set up? Because I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, Tommy hasn't been out there.
Yeah.
It's basically, it flows. It's kind of a loop. There's petting zoo. There's, your tigers. There's all your big cats. We have all 7 big cat species. But we also have a food area, and then we have basically a bounce house building. You can buy a bounce house band, and there's 5 big bounce houses. So it's kind of like a zoo and a bounce house experience, and also, we have like a toy store.
Wonderful.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a bunch of businesses. There's gem mining. There's a train ride. There's just a lot to do there.
So you find the 4-year-olds asleep in the corner. They bounce, they saw it, and then they crash.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing is when kids get done at the wild, like they probably sleep pretty well that night.
Yeah. Now you've expanded this thing, and we talked the last time that you were here. You have a rooms that people can rent, and you can actually see animals.
I think Tom's talking
it's
about
like
the
a
Haven,
safari.
aren't you, Tom?
Yeah. So
the
that's
Haven, we have the big cat bungalows that are part of the Haven is
It's
a resort.
bungalow, okay.
Yeah, they're open. The Haven big cat bungalows are open. It's part of this big resort where basically you're sleeping. Your hotel room, your room is you share with
It's an
lions and
immersive
tigers.
experience,
Yeah,
an
like
immersive experience.
You're laying in bed and you can
Yeah.
see tigers right outside your room.
Right.
They come up to it, and that's been successful, and people seem to love it. People are coming from all over the country. We've had people that flew from Hawaii just to spend 3
Really?
nights there. Someone came from Texas. I'll go in the parking lot, you see out of state plates all the time. So
Nice.
yeah, it's and
So that's working out.
Yeah, a lot of social media influencers are booking just to come.
Yeah, so this started with a guy that fell in love with a couple of raccoons, right?
Yeah, all with raccoons and and a couple goats. I mean, I love goats. I've got over 100 of them, I think now.
How many rooms? How many bungalows do you have for?
Currently, there's 8. We're working on opening up 16 luxury African tents that are bathrooms, heat, electricity, everything, TV.
When do you anticipate those being?
I'm hoping
finished?
for this summer,
Okay.
and then we're working on wolf Airbnbs where you see wolves the same way, and
Yes.
grizzly bear, and a bunch of stuff. So
Okay.
it's a big project.
And then you talked about having a concert there, so you have a concert venue, a stage.
Yeah, we have like an outdoor
Those-
amphitheater
Okay.
area where in July we have Ashley Cook coming. She's up and coming
Country star,
singer.
yeah.
And then we're looking at doing an Oktoberfest, a day-long country event. And we've got 2 weddings booked already this year in the event center, which is a massive, event building.
Right.
So it's kind of, there's just a lot
And that's
of
near
usage.
the zoo?
It's about
still-
a mile away.
Okay, a mile.
So, and
But
it's-
everything's right in that one strip right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and everything's high end. Like I have guys that build stuff that they could realistically work at Disney with their style of construction and their talent. So we're trying to just make it over the top.
Really? That's beautiful.
What's the favorite animal? Like if people name the favorite animal, is there one or is it pretty diverse?
Probably, I would say giraffe is the most popular.
How many giraffes do you have?
I think I have 7 at this point.
Oh, wow,
And
that's-
one's due it any day. Well, that's split between the Haven property because the whole
Okay.
premise of it is like the event center, the rooms, they overlook an African savanna of giraffe, zebra. But I would say giraffe are probably the most popular.
Well, if you like animals, what the heck, and you haven't been there, get out there, thewildpark.com, right up the road, and we don't have to go that far, Chittenango, right up the road. It's all there. You can spend the night, you can go to a concert, you can go on a safari. Wow.
For sure,
It's
everything, and we
it's
got a lot more in the plans.
Pretty amazing.
in my head. A
So
lot.
put it on your calendar for this spring and summer.
Absolutely.